and welcome to the Code Clarity podcast. I'm Rena.
And I'm Jean. So we've had a look at the first quarter, January to March, of all the cases published by the PMCPA. There has been 27 cases published that quarter.
Okay, so I'm not sure how that really stacks up versus other years, but Jean and I have done a bit of a summary of some of the key trends and patterns. Jean, what would you say is one of the things that you've noted?
So I think the first thing I noticed was the number of cases where poor standards was alleged. So basically, every single one of those cases except one was poor standards was alleged in the case, and I am not convinced that the one that didn't get alleged it wasn't just a mistake that they didn't allege it.
I think this is a bit of a problem. I'm not sure whether people really understand that. I mean, you could argue that every breach of the code is poor standards, right? And I know you and I have sort of similar parenting styles. And if I threw in a screamy shout at every time I told my kids off, well, which I do, they slowly begin to ignore me, right? I think you need to save some of the big stuff, like poor standards, for just not all the time.
Yeah. But what about because we've had this discussion before about the clause 2, the bringing the industry into disrepute. I mean, how does that stack up in the first quarter?
So again, of the 27 cases, clause 2 was alleged to have been breached 69% of the time. Now that is staggering for someone external like the media or like the complainants out there. What do they think of our industry? We're not going to present the figures here for what's been breached, but I think, isn't it a really sad state of affairs if nearly 70% of the time our complainants think we've brought the whole industry into disrepute?
Yeah, definitely. But what can we do then, Rena? Let's think for the positives rather than look at the negatives. Let's look at the positives. What could we do to increase confidence, both in compliance, but also in the industry, also in the people looking into us? What would be one of your top tips?
Okay, so I think the first of our top tips, if you look at the areas that have generated these kind of breaches and allegations, one area that's very clear for us is that the cross-functional team should be all over claims. They should understand, what promotional claims are. They should be sitting down together at creating, reviewing and approving and getting that right. What would you say would be your top tip?
I think the other top tip I would have is about the compliance team. So we've talked about the cross-functional team with the sort of medical and agencies and marketing, but the compliance team need to provide really clear processes that are robust, that are workable, in order that there is good governance and housekeeping of these materials and activities. And I think that would reduce a lot of the complaints as well.
And then I think our last top tip, which is probably related to what we've already said, is if everyone really genuinely understood what a promotional claim was, then I think all the cases that we see around social media would disappear straight away. So that would be less of a headache for everyone.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much, Rena.
Thanks,
Bye.
Jean. Bye.